Welcome to BioTrek Travel. We are Pierre, Lisa, and fur baby Tiller. We've sailed across oceans, explored remote atolls, and lived at anchor. Now we're trading blue water passages for the great loop lakes and locks. Come along as the journey begins. The last time we spent any significant amount of time in Newport, Rhode Island was when we arrived in the early spring 2024 after a long ocean passage directly from Saint Martin in the Caribbean to Newport. This time, it's not the early spring, it's the late fall, and we're spending a lot of time in Rhode Island as we fix up our new boat, the motor yacht Happy Hours, which is a Riviera 5400 sport yacht. It's a used boat, so we decided to keep it in a working marina so we could work on it over the winter. We chose the shipyard in downtown Newport as a vibrant place to be as the weather turned cold. And as the clear and crisp fall turned foggy, it was a warning that the winter northeasters would be blowing soon. Okay, we just arrived in Newport from Boston. It's the 19th of December, so just before Christmas. And it's a windy day here, so now you know why they do extra ropes on the boats. So all the boats that are staying the winter, you can see they have extra ropes. So we have ropes being tied to the central dock. Do you see that raft? It's a good thing it's there, because Pierre fell in one night when there was ice on the back of the boat, and he jumped on the boat and kept on going. It was easier to get out that way than try to get the ladder down or to swim to the other side. It happened late at night when he was staying on the boat alone, and I was in Boston, so there was no one around to help. So you know what's the choice when you're going to buy a boat in November in New England? You can tent it like we have done and keep it in the water, so that's good for working. We could have shipped it south, but there weren't any ships going from Newport and not enough clients this year. We would have had to take it to Fort Lauderdale, and not a great choice when you've just bought a boat and you don't know anything about the systems on it. Or you can put it on the hard like we did with BioTrek. So we did that in Rhode Island the year we came back because of COVID. And that's a lot of winterizing, but it also makes it pretty unworkable. So you can't just dump water down the sink. That marina was inconvenient for getting to the restrooms and things like that. So here, you know, they got a working marina all winter with restrooms. We have winterized the water systems, so we don't have toilets or sinks, but we can still cook, and we have heating, which is important, and Pierre can work in the back very nicely with our tent. Just listen to that wind howl. It's warm out today, at least. It's very warm. It's like 12 degrees. It's been -5, -10 in Boston, so this is a nice respite from that. Tiller, you happy to be back at the boat? You'd rather be in the cozy apartment. It's blowing out there.
She's happy to be with us.
So what do you think is blowing out there? We don't have a wind instrument, so we don't know.
Oh, it's a good 40, 45 knots.
I was going to say 50.
No.
So Pierre has already hooked up his MG batteries, and then you can see what they're reading over here to the C-zone. And you did that with the NMEA 2000?
Yeah, the standard communication network.
Okay.
Technically, it's supposed to be a standard. In practice, everybody uses it differently, so it's a bit of a challenge, but yes.
You can get a peek of the new batteries as Pierre's removing the old batteries, and more on those in another video. Tiller has her favorite activity, chewing a bone. Will you look up? Not really, Tiller? So it's the morning after we spent a warm night on the boat because Pierre has the heater working in the bedroom. What we're doing this morning while we have our coffee is try to figure out why the kitchen plug is not working on this side. This kitchen plug does not work. And you discovered that only half of that plug works. That's one of the few plugs that work. I have one microwave burner that works. Still enough to make breakfast. So during the boat inspection, I was in Montreal, so I guess I should have come, but I don't know if I would have turned on every single appliance and tested every plug, but I should have checked every single plug and checked every single burner on the induction, because it would have not just said there was something that didn't work, but it would have give a signal that there's a symptom to a larger problem of the electrical systems on this boat.
I was more concerned about the engine, the gyro stabilizers, and
Yeah, obviously.
the ball thruster, and the throttles, the joystick, and the mechanics, and the vibrations on the sail drive, and that's what I was concerned about during the survey. Generator.
So what's the diagnostic down there? The pipes for the stove don't run through there, or do they?
I don't see that yet.
Tell me when.
Okay, go for it, Lisa.
He has the heater on full blast downstairs. I've just turned the water on and Pierre's downstairs measuring the amperage. But as you can see, my galley plug is fixed. What was the problem? It turns out it was a loose wire somewhere along the route. It's still on. What do you see?
It's perfect, 23 amps. It's perfect. Position, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
So it's relying on that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it doesn't work, because it's not positioned properly. Is that possible?
Quite possible. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
'Cause at least this one's flat. But these ones are not flat on it. I don't know if that should make a
This one
difference.
has a bolt at least. These don't have any bolts, nothing. It's just relying on that little Velcro here. Oops, that doesn't help. It's broken. And I didn't break that.
Maybe someone else took it apart trying to fix it before.
Yeah, maybe.
There's broken pieces.
So that's good. And this one.
Here, let's see. You have to push that, and then you have to push what you want. You got 1 or 2 boost. It's working now. So just lifting it up, taking it apart, and putting it back together. Right? Just lifting it up, taking it apart, putting it back together seems to have fixed it. So the next project today is the washing machine. So they put a refrigerator where normally Riviera will put a washing machine, so we're going to swap it out. So the first step is to get it out so we can see the size and know which washing machine to buy. What did you say?
I said now let's remove the wine cooler. We found there's a tap for hot water, a tap for cold water right there. So the only thing I have to find is the drain, and then I'll be happy. If not, routing the drain from there to over there, it's going to be interesting.
So now Pierre's taking the floor out to see if there might be a drain below it.
That's thick, and look at the thickness of this. It's ridiculous. It's 2 boards glued together.
Well, because if it's a washing machine, it's got to support the weight, right? No? There's a drain.
No, there's no drain.
It's a hole.
It's just a hole. So this thing catches water, and it goes over there into the bilge, and the bilge pumps it out.
Do you think that's what happens with the washing machine, or?
No. We need a pipe for the washing machine.
Riviera has a very complete owner's manual, so we turned to the diagram of the grey water system so that we could try and figure out where the drainage system is for the washing machine.
So on this grey water system diagram, the yellow is a big large pipe that goes towards the stern of the boat, and that's where the grey water exits. So you can see all these other grey water systems coming in here, including from the shower, which is over here. So what we're doing is we're tracing all of the water pipes. So this is inside the closet in the master bedroom. Coming inside, we can see the clarinet, as they say in the French boats, of the water pipes. And this pipe, that's the great big one I was telling you about that goes to the back of the boat. We are trying to trace all those pipes because it looks like the drain for the washing machine was installed in the boat. And he's going to make sure, and he wants to see where it is before we buy the washing machine.
So after Pierre got the subfloor removed from the washing machine, we could see that there was a drainage pipe. It's a little deep in, it might be hard to reach, but we're now ready to go ahead and get a washing machine for the boat so that we're all set for long-term cruising. We're enjoying keeping happy hours in Newport with many different things to explore. They're terrific restaurants with nautical themes, many pictures of America's Cup boats, races from around Newport, and also classic boats adorn the walls of these restaurants. Exploring Newport off-season in early winter is a nice time to walk Tiller along the Cliff Walk. The Cliff Walk in Newport is a 3.5-mile public path that runs along the Atlantic Ocean on one side and Newport's Gilded Age mansions on the other. So on one side, there's historic estates, on the other side, the crashing waves and rugged cliffs. It's a busy place in the summer, but off-season, we can enjoy the scenic walk without the crowds. Newport is a festive place during the holiday season.
Well, there's a Christmas tree. What a beautiful Christmas tree. And it's got a lobster on top. Should we walk through this part? We've just been out at a restaurant and the wind is coming up again, so we better get back to the boat. Check it out. Beautiful Christmas scene here though. Sign shaking.
Well, we knew it had to happen, and the snow eventually came in January, the month that I'm recording this.
So they had a small path. I shoveled this out. There's been a lot of snow here. Ah, Tiller.
Tiller loves the
What do you think of
snow,
the snow?
except for when she gets little frozen bits in her feet.
Okay, just. Oh, Tiller, we got salt. We gotta put the booties on. Okay, let's go back. We're gonna put the booties on.
Pierre to the rescue, but next time I'll put her booties on so that won't happen.
All right, she can get down now.
It's not so comfortable having to troop back and forth between the public toilets, so we're spending lots of time in Boston, and Newport's only a 90-minute drive. There's always lots to see and do in the city in the holiday times. We met up with friends from the Gliwo Rally, and we enjoyed the sights in the city. We'll give you an update on the upgrades we've made to our boat in the next video, and we look forward to seeing you there.